trip along the Lake Erie Coastal Ohio Trail Scenic Byway is the perfect way to kick off spring and summer. As if Lake Erie wasn't scenic enough, the 293-mile Lake Erie Coastal Ohio Scenic Byway offers travelers beaches, state parks, preserves, lighthouses, vacation islands, charming villages, and big cities. Lake Erie's best known and most photographed landmark is the Marblehead Lighthouse. In use since 1822, Marblehead Lighthouse is the oldest continually operating lighthouse on the Great Lakes. The area where it sits today was converted to a small state park, which is easily accessible via the Lake Erie Coastal Ohio Trail Scenic Byway. The grounds surrounding the lighthouse offer excellent picnicking and views of Lake Erie. I talked to naturalist Kara Freimark, who tells us more about this popular location.
This is the Marblehead Lighthouse. It was built in 1821 and it opened in 1822, so it's 200 years old this year. The views are amazing out here. Sometimes you'll see fish swimming around from up at the top of the lighthouse. You see all the fishermen out in the sailboats, and it's just gorgeous. And wildlife, I mean, you'll see bald eagles fly over, you'll see mink playing on the rocks. It is one of the most photographed lighthouses, and the views are just gorgeous out here. They're just beautiful, and you're near all these other areas, so when you're going to the islands or Cedar Point, this is just a stop on the way. Why not?
The Marblehead Lighthouse is a must-see for any road trip along the Lake Erie Coastal Ohio Trail Scenic Byway. In need of a thrill? The byway passes right by Cedar Point, home to the premier coaster park of the world, and it has 71 exhilarating rides right here in Sandusky, Ohio. With signature summer events, beach activities, live shows, and unmatched Lake Erie setting, it's easy to see why this is a must-stop destination. Discover all that Cedar Point has to offer on your next road trip along the byway. We're here at the Lorraine Harbor Black River Landing, located along the beautiful Lorraine waterfront. Visitors can find nature excursions, local landmarks, walkways, and even guest boat docking. Black River Landing includes a top-notch music venue with concerts including the popular Rockin' on the River series and exciting international festivals. The byway also passes through downtown Lorraine's recently updated Broadway Avenue district, featuring cool shops and delicious restaurants. As if you didn't need another reason to travel along the byway, you can find the home of rock and roll, the city of Cleveland. The Lake Erie Coastal Ohio Trail passes along Cleveland's lakefront, which includes the North Coast Harbor, where you can find a plethora of popular attractions. I talked to NOACA Director and CEO Grace Gallucci, who told me about this exciting area.
North Coast Harbor is one of my favorite spots along the byway. It's right here in the middle of downtown Cleveland. We're standing on the East 9th Street Pier, and this pier is home to so many assets and so many things to do. We have the Mather, which is a 100-year-old iron ore ship that has been totally refurbished, and you could get on it and visit it. The Cleveland Browns Stadium is here for you to be able to see professional football games and concerts. The Great Lakes Science Center is one of 11 welcome centers for NASA in the entire country. There are so many trails, bikeways, and pedestrian access to this site right here. Right behind me is a new pedestrian bridge that is being put in to connect the pier to all of the things that we just talked about, including the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
You can also take a picture in front of the famous Cleveland script signs. There are 6 across the greater Cleveland area. And if you need help planning your day along the byway, Grace and her team developed an app just for you.
You can find it by searching Lake Erie Coastal Ohio Trail, and that will have 150 different sites on a map. You can use it either as a navigation tool as you're going along the byway, or you can just use it as a diary to plan your day.
Download the Lake Erie Coastal Ohio Trail app in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store today. And when you want to get out of the city, there's plenty of beautiful natural coastline to explore, including Headlands Beach. The Mentor Headlands Beach, Headlands Dunes, and the Grand Wild and Scenic River are all right next to each other along the Lake Erie shore in Mentor, Ohio. Here you can experience a natural mile-long beach, one of the last and finest remaining examples of Lake Erie Beach and dune ecosystems in Ohio. On the eastern edge of the dunes, the Grand River meets Lake Erie. Regional Preserve Manager Adam Mulliver told me more about this rare Ohio site.
I like to tell people it's almost like walking back in time when you come to Headlands. When people come up here, they're seeing something that's very rare and very unique. We have over 12 different species of plants which are listed, which means they're rare, threatened, or endangered. So in the springtime, you start to see some of those plants emerging. Things like beach pea, lyre leaf, rock cress are starting to flower, and then throughout the summer, some of the rare grasses start to really flush out their color. Spring and summer are great times to come up here.
All of this natural coastline is easily accessible via the Lake Erie Coastal Ohio Trail. But these beautiful sites are not as easily found anywhere else in the state.
When you come out here, you're seeing something that represents almost like an untouched area of the coastline of Lake Erie. Most of these places are now gone, these sandy beaches and the vegetation that you see. So when you come out here, you're experiencing something that there's not a whole lot left of. If you're looking for something that's maybe a little bit reminiscent of like the shores of North Carolina, maybe Virginia along the Atlantic coast, this is where you're going to want to stop and spend some time. We have a lot of photographers come up here taking pictures of the flowers, the butterflies, but especially of the Fairport Harbor Lighthouse. That's often a focal point for photographers.
From nature preserves, beautiful landmarks, and big cities, the Lake Erie Coastal Ohio Trail Scenic Byway has so much to offer. Make sure you plan a trip to see all of this for yourself.